This project is finally over. I am so excited. I'm so excited to show you guys too. It took me about a month. We started. I did get some help in putting together our new furniture from Lou. But we started in January when we took down the Christmas decorations, and that's when we started rock and rolling. I had hoped to have this video and the room completed by the last week of January, so I could have 2 videos up, but such is life, and we're a week behind schedule, which isn't bad. Wait till you see all the stuff that was done, and you get to see it in like super warp speed, fast forward, project, and boom. So let's go. Well, here is the start to the madness. Here is our before footage of what used to be my guest room. Now, we purchased this furniture for the makeover. So we're about 2 weeks in to January right here. We've gotten the bed from this room out with some help. Thank you, friends. So we've got the bed out. We purchased the furniture from IKEA. And of course, hubby helped me put it together. Now, that 3-piece set, from IKEA, the buffet, the middle piece portion is actually solid pine. I know a lot of IKEA is composite. The bookcases are, it's like MDF composite wood. But the middle is solid pine, and it cost us about $500 for all 3 pieces. So not bad. So after we built and moved in the furniture, the new IKEA furniture, the next project I wanted to do was a backsplash that would go right in between those bookcases over that little buffet piece. And what I had in mind was like what you see in a garage, those steel or metal, like a flashing, but it's that diamond cut look. You often see it in garages as you know, to protect their walls in there. That's what I had in mind for this room. However, when I went to Home Depot to price things out, that stuff is expensive. Really expensive and heavy also. So even if I wanted to splurge, which adding it up I didn't, I would run into the dilemma of how to adhere it to the wall because it's heavy, and I didn't want to do massive damage because man, I changed my mind and I changed my room. So not a good thing for me. So I came up with this idea just out of necessity. I started brainstorming and thinking of what I could do, and I came up with a couple of ideas. Tin tiles that you put on the ceiling, things like that. What I ended up doing was a faux steel wall made with foam boards. So check this project out. Now, I always have these foam boards that I pick up from the Dollar Tree for $1. They have so many uses, but I always have a stack of these in the house for the kids. So these were about the same sized panels that I saw at Home Depot. So this is where my mind went. Foam boards, let's spray paint them metallic. Now, here's a tip if you do try this. You have to be very slow and very gentle, because if you saturate these boards, the paper on top of it is going to bubble. So it took me a while. I learned my lesson after the first one and had to go back after a couple ruined boards and really take my time. So once I had my top coat, I wanted to give this a more distressed, realistic look. So what I did was I grabbed my paint. I've always got my paints going, and did a couple different methods. I just really, once I started playing with it, the better it got. I was real nervous at first, but once I was like on my 2nd or 3rd board, I really hit my groove and just started really making these kind of come to life. So I used a sponge here, a wet paper towel, then to start blending. And then I even used some rolled up tin foil. These are just different methods that I've seen along the way, I've used along the way, different medias. And I just kind of used them all together till I got the look that I was going for. So once I got all of my pieces to the distressed look that I was going for, it was time to add some embellishments. And these are upholstery tacks for furniture. And I just grabbed them off of Amazon. I don't remember how much they were, but they are the large ones because I thought that was going to look really good with the project. So I think they're about 1 inch in diameter. And I just gave them a quick coat of the same metallic silver that I used for my boards. This turned out to be pretty much one of my favorite projects because it was just something in my imagination that ended up becoming realized, but it was exactly what I had in my head and exactly what I was going for, which sometimes that doesn't work out, but this one did, and I just love the turnout. This kind of sums my personality up, this kind of industrial steel, and then you slap it with some very feminine CRAFTROOM stuff, and that just kind of sums up my personality. So I love this look. And on to the next project, which was just repainting the surface of this handmade desk that my parents built. It was actually one of a set of 2 desks that they built for our home office when we moved into this house. So I just wanted to make it blend a little bit better. So I just used my chalk paint and finished off the top, and that was it. You can't have a finished room without curtains. So I grabbed a curtain rod from Walmart and I purchased my first set of curtains on Amazon. Didn't like the way those turned out, so I picked up another set for $12.99 from Ross and ended up smashing them together and using both pairs. Hold on tight. We have furniture painting to do. It's about to get real. We're rounding the finish line here. I have just these 2 pieces of furniture that I am painting white. This bookcase here that I've had for 12 years from Target. I'm painting this white, and then also that armoire in the back there. I'm going to give that a quick coat of white also. So I wanted to stop and take just a second to talk about chalk paint, because not a lot of people have ever used chalk paint, because I feel like the name is misleading and people are like, well, what is chalk paint? And is it like chalk? And when you think of chalk paint, at least forever I did, I was like, ooh, like it gives you that icky chalkboard, feeling like, ooh, but it's not like that. Chalk paint is a very thick, it doesn't drip easily. It's kind of like slapping on sludge. And I wanted to prove it to you by showing you kind of the process and how horrifying my paint job is. Not because I'm usually that horrifying, but because we're at the stretch and these are the last things that are standing in between me and completing this room makeover. So I'm kind of at my patience breaking point. So when I show you how I have painted this piece of furniture, and especially if you paint, you're going to be like, oh my God, that is horrifying. What have you done? But yes, I want you to check this out. So I'm going to come in and yeah, I know. It's bad, right? This is ridiculous, but wait till you see when it's finished. So, I mean, there's not even like a rhyme or reason to how I was putting this on. Just short of literally like slapping it on, you cannot mess this stuff up because, again, it's so forgiving. It's like one of the most forgiving paints you will ever work with. The only thing, just note to self, if you ever want to put a clear coat over this, you have to talk to your paint department, because any kind of top coat over white could yellow or tint your nice bright white a yellow, and you don't want that. So just a note to self if you start working with it. This stuff is matte. It's like an ultra matte. So just a quick talk about chalk paint. Did I leave anything out? It's still a water-based product. You can still wash your brushes like with soap and water.
Again, it's just super thick. You don't have to prime. You don't have to sand your furniture. If it's been painting, you just put this stuff over it, and it is like the most forgiving paint you'll ever work with. I love it. So check these out when they're done. Okay, we're about to go into coat number 3, and I wanted to stop and give a few tips because I know somebody is, I'm sure somebody's going to be inspired and be like, oh, empowered to go out and do that project. And I don't want them emailing me or calling me saying, why did my stuff come out messed up or this or that when they run into some issues. So first, I wanted to let you know about when you're painting something white, stains or glue bleeding through your paint, and that can happen with any paint. I ran across that with my desk that I did first. Oh, you can't see it because it's crazy, but I ran across that first, and I'm running across it here as well. And I wanted to show you, if this picks up, you can see a little bead of yellow coming through the seams. Sorry about that. So you can see the little bead of yellow coming through the seams. Not all of them, but just 2 of them are a little bit bad, of where they used a bead of glue to secure this trim onto the shelf. So what I did to alleviate that, and no matter how much paint, how many coats that you go along that line, that glue is still going to bleed through your white, no matter what kind of white paint you're using. So my tip is, and I just did this on my own, just thinking wise, I didn't research it or anything. You could probably use a Kills paint if you have that handy, but this is $1 at the Dollar Tree, or like $3 at the craft store. This is Mod Podge, and this is a matte. And Mod Podge is not just a glue, it's a sealer. Many people use it on like paper and photos when they're doing their creative projects, and it seals it. So it stops that stain from coming through. So I did this on my desk already. I know it works. I just ran a little bead of glue along these seams of where it was coming through my my paint. And then I'm just going to go ahead and give this the 3rd coat, and you're not going to see those bleeds anymore. Okay, and another item that I wanted to just quickly address is that if you want like a pristine turnout, like it looks custom painted, then you're going to want to think about using a caulk to fill in any spaces or gaps where wood meets wood. So for instance, I'm going to try and show you up here where I've got a little bit of spacing here at the end. Now, chalk paint is like it's like a wonder paint because it's so thick. It actually fills in most of your seams and most of those little spaces. You do have to pay attention and make sure you get them done well. And what I'm referring to is like all of this up here. You wouldn't know it, but this is wood meets wood. So there's a natural like small gap, not anymore with chalk paint. And that doesn't work with regular paint because it's super, super thin. But chalk paint is great. You do have to pay attention and get all in your seams and your corners. And then when you have large ones, you'll just want to go in with caulk. You can see that right here. And if you can see how beautiful the rest looks, no amount of chalk paint is going to fill that little gap in. So I have to go in with caulk if I want a completely finished look. You don't have to do that if you don't care, but the devil's in the details. So if you want something that looks, custom painted or professionally painted, caulking all of your edges. And let me show you where it really looks bad. A little bit of caulk, run your finger along it, and go ahead and paint over it, and that is gonna make or break your project. Okay, I'm gonna finish up.
Before I show you the end result of the bookcase, I'm going to hop right into this next cabinet, armoire, whatever you want to call it, and show you this project. So I'm going to use a contact paper for the face of the doors. I'm going to paint the sides white. I'm going to give the hinges and the door handles a little upgrade. And this contact paper you can pick up from anywhere. I got this one from Big Lots for $3.99, and it really just depends on the print that you can find. I have contact paper from the Dollar Tree, the dollar store. You can get it at Walmart. Again, it just depends on the print that you like and how much of the roll, how much of the length that you need. Now, I am not going to lie, this project was the one I was most afraid of tackling because it's contact paper and this stuff can be tricky. Like if you put it on crooked, it's going to look bad. If there's bubbles, it's going to look bad. It can just either look great or it can just look really, really bad in the end. So, but I had no choice. I just jumped into it. I put this on my dining room table. I went slow, inch by inch, made sure that it was straight and that there was no bubbles. And I then flipped it over once I had the paper nice, good, secure on. And then I took an X-Acto knife and literally got as close to the edge as I possibly could. To finish it off, I just grabbed my metallic spray paint and I gave the handles and also the hinges a little light spray, and that was it. So much easier than I thought it was going to be. Whew! So my bookcase and my cabinet are done. As you can see, it doesn't look so horrible anymore, especially with that paint job that I started with. She looks good. So does the cabinet. Very happy with the finish. I was scared, but it's sleek and smooth and it looks great. And we are now at the finish line. Last but not least, we got to put in a pretty little rug that I picked up from rugs.com. This was only $39. $39. I couldn't believe it. It was a flash sale or a sale of some sort. I've ordered rugs from rugs.com before, so I got, I don't know what it was, an email or an ad or something like that. So I grabbed this one. They also had like this pretty seafoam like blue pattern, but I grabbed the pink because I just like the pink. And they also had two different sizes. This is a 5x8 and they also sold a 4x6 as well. Now, once all of this is finished, I am going to do a little bit of purging of craft items and some organizing. And I'm definitely going to do a different video showing you where I got a bunch of things and how I put things together. But I'm going to do that without showing you. And then this is going to be it, the big reveal. Well, of course I have to be dramatic and take you outside of my double doors, barn doors, which we installed, by the way. I pieced these parts together. The double track I got from Amazon and the privacy doors I got from Home Depot. And I think the project cost me around $500 total. So, okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the final craft room. Yay! I'm so excited. A lot of time and sweat, and I don't think there was tears in this one. Everything went pretty smoothly. I have to say, pretty smooth projects for the most part. Now, I'm still not completely finished, but are you ever really finished with anything anyway? But I do, the opposite wall here, you can't see it from this angle right now, but the opposite wall still needs some work. I had to bring back in my plastic container bins, which I didn't want to do, but I have an idea to refinish some little short half bookcases, I have a little sister set, and I think that's what I'm going to do later on. And of course, I'll take you through the project and give you an update on that. So, and I also would like to do a video that shows you where I got a lot of this stuff, because it's just going to blow your mind, the cost. And you should know me by now. I didn't spend much, and I want to show you where I got all these little things and how I made all of these little things, because seriously, it is gonna blow your mind. So that will be an upcoming video also. And I have a huge Dollar Tree haul that I've been holding out on as well. So I got a lot coming up here, but I can do it in this nice, beautiful little room that I have here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this makeover that, you know, you get to sit through for maybe a cup of coffee, and it took me a month, but we're done. See, now here's the little bins that I'm talking about. These are going to be gone, and this wall is going to be finished, but you know, I had to get the video up, and I just had to kind of move forward. And yep, so I'll finish those up, and yep, and here's my Valentine's Day stuff that I need to show you some of those ideas. Maybe this weekend I will put one of my Valentine's projects out for you as well. Okay, guys, well, that's a wrap, and much love to everyone out there. I hope everybody is doing well and is healthy and safe, and I will see you shortly. Bye, guys.